Hi everyone, welcome to EVE Talk, your weekly look at the EVE Online markets, and I only have 19 minutes left before server downtime, so let's hurry up and get to it. We only have a few days left before the launch of the next expansion, EVE Online Retribution. A tip for everyone that does play EVE Online: remember to put in a long skill, so that in case servers are down for a few days with the deployment of the expansion. They've been doing a great job for the last few patches and expansions, but you never know. It's a good idea to put in a very long skill. I myself will do this probably on Sunday or on Monday. Yeah, remember to do that. You won't be sorry if something does happen. So let's get on with the market. I'll start off with titanium as always, and I'll just look at the price, because as we know, this chart never really works out. 617 for the sellers, buyers 612. Titanium seems to be pretty stable, no margin whatsoever. Pyrite, what's that looking like? 1366, 1363, so no margin. I think that's pretty much, it's still on the uptrend though. It must have been a little higher than last week. So yeah, a slight uptrend for Pyrite. Let's see if Mixalon, that's less visible, looks more stable to me on the Mixalon chart. Let's see what the prices are like. 62.31, 60.97. So I think Mixalon is pretty stable. Virtually no margin here either. And Isogen, maybe just a quick look. 168 for the buyers, 174 for the sellers, 168 even for some sellers as well. So zero margin either, but an uptrend on the chart though. So yeah, we might be seeing a slight uptrend in some of the minerals. Maybe the others are holding on because people have some serious stocks that they can still bring to the market. That is a possibility. Mixalon and what is it? Plagioclase, the mineral, the ore that yields most Mixalon, has been the best, or in my opinion, one of the best asteroids to mine for a long time. So it's possible that because of that, there are still a lot of Mixalon stocks left that need to be liquidated, and that is why the price isn't rising together with Pyrite and Isogen. But yeah, it's a trend to keep an eye on. Let's see if it translates as well in the Tech 1 ships. For the Drake, it certainly does. You can see the Drake back over 50 million, 52 for the sellers, 50 for the buyers. So yeah, the Drake has known a bottom. Let's have a quick look at the Talos, which is finally coming up on a full 1 year chart here. Slight uptrend, not as pronounced as the Drake, but 89 million for the sellers, 83 for the buyers. That's definitely a good deal for people that have a researched PPO. Oh, I didn't put the rock. Ships, rock, add to market quick bar. I'll have a look at that one. 252 for the sellers, 232 for the buyers. So 20 million, that's almost 10% margin. That's not bad. Players sort of shutting down in 15 minutes. That should be alright. And let's have a look at the chart. You can also slightly see an uptrend here. Maybe it's more visible on 3 months. Yeah, yep, definitely an uptrend in Tech 1 stuff. Seems to have started right now. Maybe the run up towards the expansion. People buying stuff up, expecting prices to rise and expecting to make some money on this inflation. It's also possible that it's preparation by bigger alliances for wars. So if it's just speculation, then we can expect a drop back after the expansion. If it's a preparation for wars, we should see some action in 0.0, and that might make these prices remain high. We'll have to wait and see. Let's move on to the Tech 2 market for the Guardians. That's the 1 year chart. But as you can see on the 3 month chart, still a lot of ups and downs. The Guardian seems to be pretty low actually. So we might see an upswing at some point. What's the margin looking like? Yeah, 138 for the sellers, 122 for the buyers. That's not a bad margin at all, also around 10%. The Guardian is once again seems to be trade worthy to me. Yeah, like we've been able to see over the last few weeks since I've been checking out the Guardian to get a feel of the Take-Two market. It's very volatile. The Guardian has started off being trade worthy in my opinion with the big margin, then it closed up as it reaches these tops. The margin tend to close up, and then right now you're back up on a pretty big margin. So you might be able, if you can get a few on a buy order, you might definitely be able to make some money on Guardians once again. Yeah, very interesting market, this Take-Two market, and I think a very interesting one for active traders. Moving on, what else is there? Oh, let's simply move on to the Tech3 Tengu. Still trending downward to that bottom of 185, which I'm expecting, but as you can see, it's definitely slowing down as well. Let's have a quick look at the 1 year chart. Yeah, look at where it comes from. It's at an all-time low. If you like flying the Tengus, despite the nerf that's coming to heavy missiles, you know, you might want to pick some up now. 185, you get a Tengu, and 177, 700 for the buyers. Yeah, 8 million margin, not that much on a price of 185. But yeah, Tengu, we all know this nerf is coming, so that's what the chart looks like, yeah, because of that. Although the trend has been going on for quite a long time, so it might just be that wormhole production is very stable and increasing, and that is just adding to the downward pressure on the Tech3 market at the moment, but the Tengu is having a pretty bad time because of that nerf. Galente fuel blocks, just have a quick look here. That still looks like it's around 13k. Yep, still around 13k, 12k. For the buyers, what's that margin looking like? That's almost a decent margin, actually. That's a bit surprising to me. But yeah, it's still close to an all-time low. It's been below 13k, so that might be why this margin is still here. Buyers still trying to purchase it well below 13k. So might still go down a little bit even, in my opinion, but yeah, not a time to sell Galente fuel blocks, but still a time to stock up on them. Let's see, I think we've had most of it. Someone mentioned that capital ship parts were going up, so I think that's pretty interesting because, oh, let's see, because I am expecting 0-0 alliances to prepare for a war and to start buying up a lot of stuff. So let's have a quick look at that. If these, actually that looks pretty flat, although it's up a little bit on the 3-month chart. I wouldn't say that there is a noticeable uptrend here on the capital drone bay, which is a part of a carrier. Let's maybe look at another one. I think capital capacitor battery. Yeah, you can see an uptrend here. The capital drone bay, you need an enormous amount of them, so that's a possibility that because a lot of people make capital drone bays, it's more stable. But here in the capital capacitor battery, I'm definitely seeing a slight uptrend. What else is there? Capital armor plates should also be one. Might see an uptick there. It's still a bit hesitant in my opinion. If this was more pronounced in the uptrend, I would say that would have supported my theory that 0-0 alliances are preparing for a war. But I'm not seeing the amount of movement that I would expect, so it's possible that a large part of the uptrend in Tech 1 stuff is just speculation on higher prices due to the expansion and the influx of new players. It only makes sense that Tech 1, which are the first ones you'll start to fly, know a higher demand with new players. So yeah, it's a possibility that it's not so much preparation for a war, but just speculation on making more ISK. That we're seeing this rise in Tech 1 stuff. Pretty interesting. Of course, that's very good for miners that might be able to get a bit more money out of their minerals. And let's end up with the Plex, which is still stable in the 580-600 band. Let's have a quick look at the exact price. 590 for the sellers, 580 for the buyers, 10 million margin. It's a bit below what it's normally. So yeah, I still say this is the current market price. If we see a drawback, that's definitely going to be a buy opportunity. Just look at the 1 year chart. If you see a drawback, which you can see right here at the beginning of the chart, if you see it mirrored here, absolutely no reason to pick up, not to pick up a few Plex. At that point, as you can see, the price never went below that bottom. I think this was January, maybe early February. No, definitely January, somewhere mid-January. It knew a bottom. So if we see another pullback, I'm expecting that to become the new bottom, regardless of what price it is. It's even possible that the current price is 580, 590, or actually the bottom for Plex. There's just a lot more activity, a lot more ISK being earned and slugging around in wallets. It's inevitable in a game like EVE Online that you'll see some inflation, especially in the most popular products such as the Plex. Yeah, I don't think we'll see any noticeable pullbacks back below 500 million. I just don't see it happening anymore. Sorry for the guys that pay their accounts with Plex, but that's just what it looks like to me. Yeah, anyways, there we go, guys. Another quick look at the EVE Online markets. Keep in mind, expansion coming up, so put in that long skill in your skill queue, and I will see you all next time.